Alright guys, welcome back to the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Babies Guide. I'm FC Jago. Today we're going to be speaking about the HUD, and there are 4 crucial elements to Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they're presented within the HUD. So we're going to be getting into that, and for those of you who are not up to date with our guides, I'll allow you a few seconds to go back and take a look at them. And your move does 50k on block of chip damage. All you have to do is hit him with that move twice. And as I mentioned before, there are 4 crucial elements to the HUD of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 that are important to a match. Now, I'm going to start with the time and life bars. Now, time is crucial and relevant to all of us as it dictates the pace of the entire match. I'll be getting into why that's important in our little questionnaire section at the end of the guide. Now, you can find the time located at the upper center of the screen, and you'll see it ticking down, and it's right next to the life bars, which I want to get into now. The life bars are located at the left and upper right-hand corners of the screen. Now, funny thing about the life bars are that the life bars are important to any fighting game, as they are the only winning condition. And if your character's life bar is depleted, he will be KO'd. In Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, if all 3 of your character's life bars are depleted, you will lose the entire match. Now, as I said before, keep that in mind. Life bars are the only winning condition. Ah yes, meters, meters, and meters. When you guys hear this term, I want you to think power. Why? Because every character in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has a super, and a super normally requires at least 1 meter. Now, a super is a really powerful move that either has high projectile durability, can full screen punish, or makes your character have some sort of invincibility. Now, in order to balance this out, they at least want you to spend a meter in order to gain that power. Now, remember, not every character only has a 1 meter super. Some of them can use more than 1 meter to do a more powerful super that's unique to only them. Now remember, you can only stock up to 5 meters, so spend your meters wisely, like some of you Virgil players out there. I'm watching you guys. All right guys, so welcome back to the questionnaire section of the Babies Guide. And as I told you before, I will be putting out some questions and even answering them myself as if you were asking me. Now, the first question is, seriously, why is time important? Now, I told you before I would explain to you why time is so important in dictating the pace of the match. It's important because it's the determining factor of who wins the match if both opponents do not KO each other. So, pay attention to the time, because if you don't KO your opponent in time and he still has more life than you do, you lose. And, you know, you probably wouldn't like that. You're probably going to get pretty salty about that. So, moving on to another question, is there anything in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 that can save me from the clock? Actually, yes, and a lot of people don't know about this. The situation is rare, but let me give you an example. If the time is, say, at 10 seconds, and you hit your opponent with a level 3 while the clock is going to 0, a level 3 will ignore time. So there you have it. And also KO your opponent in the event that he does die, or the event that you drain his life, and you could actually win the match that way. So keep that in mind. Now, on to our next question, number 3. What is the red gauge that appears on my life bar after I am hit? Now, after you take damage, you are able to regenerate a certain amount of health as long as the character who took damage is not the one on point. In some rare situations, such as Dante and Virgil, when they're in Devil Trigger, they can actually be the characters on point and they will regenerate health. So keep that in mind, and yes, that also does cost a meter. How do I earn more meters in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? More meters can be earned in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 by simply blocking your opponent's attacks, or as long as your attack connects with your opponent, whether they guard or they are hit by your attack, you will earn meters. There are also assists in the game that give you meter, such as Amataretsu's assist and Morgan's assist. So you guys can go do the research with the cast yourself and see what else assists give you meters. But moving on to the fifth question, how do I activate X Factor and what's a good way to utilize it? X Factor is activated by simultaneously pressing A, B, C, and S. This can also be done in the air, so keep that in mind for any sticky situations you get into. Which leads me on to my second answer, which is, as I said before, X Factor in layman terms is power, but is mainly used to have the ability to make a comeback in high-level play. Now, X Factor can interrupt guard states, cancel almost any attack in animation at any given time, and even break grabs for you in really rare one-frame situations. I explained to you frames before, so I'm not gonna answer that anymore. Now, but ultimately, X Factor can be used to your discretion. And I cannot tell you what the best way is to use it, so you're gonna have to go experiment and figure out what works for you and your team and your playstyle. All right, now on to our sixth question. How do I stop calling the wrong assists? Keep an eye on your characters. I told you where the life bars were. Now, your first character will be in the center. Your second assist, which is your second character you could tag in with the first assist button, will be at the bottom of that middle character. And your third character will be all the way at the top in the back, hanging out, chilling, cruising on the beach. You know how it is. And he's the third assist, he or she. So that's how you stop calling the wrong assist. Get used to eyeing the hub. Keep an eye on your life bars, keep an eye on your meter, keep an eye on the time. That's what ultimately this guide is all about. Keep an eye on the HUD. It will help you identify what you need to be doing during the match and what your opponent is up to. That's it. That does it for money, power, and meters. I'm done. I think I explained everything you guys need to know. And for our next guide, it'll be the final part of the babies guide, which I'd like to call theories. Now, theories will just be dealing on how the more advanced players, or what you would consider the top players, think and what tools they utilize in order to make themselves better. Now, thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions, please send them to our Twitter at fingercramp. Don't forget to hit us up on Facebook, like our fan page, and that's all I have for you guys. Until next time.